We're here in Bellevue at the Washington State Democratic Convention. This weekend has been all about candidates, elected officials, and state delegates talking about the diversity of their coalition and the unity of their values.
That is a big tent that represents a variety of voices, the diversity of our communities that is our strength. We might have some differing opinions, but we are all Democrats.
This year's Democratic State Convention boasts the most diverse delegation in the past 10 years. And that's not all. This year's convention also has the most geographic diversity. CD6?
So, who are these diverse yet unified delegates?
Proud delegation chair of the Sweet 16th Legislative District.
And why did they come to this convention?
A delegate is a proxy, that is that your peers vote you in to speak to or argue about a position, candidates, policies that are central to the party.
So you had to fill out kind of a questionnaire and send in a little bio. I don't know what they looked for. Heavens, I don't know, but it was pretty easy to do.
You put together a campaign. In this case, it was a written campaign and even a video campaign about why it is you want to be a delegate, what's important to you as a party member, and why you want to go to the state convention and or national convention.
There was, I think, over 40 people that ran for about 20 seats, so I gave my impassioned remarks, wrote them on a little notepad, and practiced for a couple weeks beforehand, and got up on stage and did my thing.
Throughout the second day, there were many workshops dedicated to how to get out the vote.
It's an opportunity to get to meet all these other incredible Democrats and get trained up as we're doing today to be able to then take the message out into their communities to help make sure that we're getting folks elected.
And then from there, we learned how to talk to each other, and that's really important.
So I'm also a precinct committee officer, so it is my duty, as part of my party duties too, to knock on people's doors and say, hey, we have an election coming up. Let me tell you about some exciting things that are happening, who's on the ballot, why this is important. You might see me on the news, look for that, to really engage them. So I just want to energize them about why it's important to return that ballot.
Behind me is where the gala dinner will be happening this evening, where attendees will hear from Governor Jay Inslee, candidate for governor Bob Ferguson, as well as other elected officials about the values that they stand for and those that they hope will get voters inspired to go out there and cast their ballot in August.
We have got to do the work to make sure that we win this election. And that falls on you. You are the heart and soul of the party, the grassroots.
It's what you all do best. Knocking on doors, calling people, writing postcards, making small donations, talking to your friends and family members. We need that to win this election. We cannot be complacent.
Along with receptions and dinners filled with impassioned speeches from candidates, delegates, most importantly, voted on planks of the party platform and policy resolutions and approved candidate nominations.
The nominations we make are not endorsements and do not lead to increased monetary or other campaign support.
The Washington State Democratic Party does not make endorsements. Endorsements only happen at the legislative district or county level.
There is a threshold to be nominated. You must be endorsed by at least 5. The party has spoken.
Yes.
If a candidate for statewide office, like governor, receives endorsement from at least 5 local Democratic parties, they are automatically added to the list of nominees to be considered at the convention. This slate of nominees was passed by the delegates without any debate. A nomination by the State Democratic Party showcases grassroots support. The business portion of the convention is happening right here in this room where they are debating planks of the platform, with 703 delegates right behind me and over 300 participating virtually online.
Whereas the platform outlines our beliefs, resolutions are based on those beliefs and call for specific actions to be taken.
It's kind of boring. A lot of the platform and resolutions have already been written. They're just a matter of passing them. But a lot of the work has already been happening before this convention.
I expect to see a cadre of my peers stand up and argue about items that they believe should remain in the platform or be taken out.
We are making a powerful statement.
And I am speaking to 6 of those tomorrow.
We've communicated to all of our delegates that, we welcome passionate debate, but at the end of the day, we need to come back together.
Going out into the world
electing Democrats.
And we're not all one-minded and we have disagreements.
I urge you to reject it. Thank you.
Democracy is always messy, and then when you get a lot of people in a room who have occasionally different opinions, it's going to be a little messy.
The debates over the planks of the platform and resolutions took up the majority of the final day.
Throughout our work, we must wrangle with the complexities of the world as we find them.
I'm really worried for my Jewish community.
This means having the capacity for nuance.
I'm a proud Palestinian American, and I'm turning to the Democratic Party today for support.
We truly are the party of protest and dissent. I am proud to welcome our uncommitted delegates and appreciative that you have chosen to organize and work within our party. We are strong enough to be nuanced in our work together, where we can call for everlasting peace in every part of our world, while also tending to the work that we must do here at home.
I'm an uncommitted delegate, so I wanted to advocate for a ceasefire in Gaza. There are 3 resolutions related to ceasefire on the platform resolution. All we want is to be able to vote on them. What we want is democracy.
Ultimately, the delegates in the room and online voted to adopt all 3 of the Gaza-related resolutions, as well as the 20-plus other resolutions, demonstrating the power of those who show up.
It's one of the places where a lot of people think you can't really make a difference. They think conventions are all parties and receptions and, good time, confetti coming out of the ceiling. But my experience changed my life. It was 2020. The resolution that we had on the floor of the National Convention was to ban chokeholds, and basically said that if anybody runs as a Democrat, or if they're already a Democrat, they need to agree to pass legislation to ban the chokehold.
The Democrats are a big tent party. Without the political party, you'd have a lot of different interest groups vying for power without any way of actually obtaining that power, because you have 10% of people wanting one thing, 10% wanting another. But if we all come together, then we can really take on the other side, which is the Republican Party, which is very well organized. So we have to be organized as well, even though we're all very different in a lot of ways.